Hello guys and welcome back. This is Rockman 9000. I'm glad you came back. Now in my previous video I kind of outlined the type of things I was going to talk about on how you can get into Japan and things I've actually tried. So what I wanted to talk about today was going to be the Monbukagakushou, and that's basically a scholarship offered by the Japanese government that encourages foreign students to study abroad in Japan. Usually it's covered by the Japanese government, and your school or college doesn't have anything to do with it. Uh, they cover your expenses such as your tuition, your dormitory fees, and even your plane ticket over. However, I think you get a monthly stipend. I will post the information in the description so you guys can go check it out because it is different per applicant, and you can apply for monthly stipends and get paid like I don't know, like about 800 to maybe almost $1,000 a month. It seems to pay for your expenses, but they pretty much cover your dormitory fees and your tuition. Um, but anyways, they have different categories for different applicants. Okay, first off, they have research students, which are basically people going in for like their graduate's degree. It's not as clear as saying, "Oh, you're getting your graduate's degree." Here's the description. Usually, it's for people under the age of 35 years old, which I'm pretty sure most of my audience would be around that age group. If not, then Momokagakushou isn't going to be for you. Trust me. Anyways, it's for college graduates, and usually is completed after 16 years of schooling, which means you have your BS degree. So essentially, this is kind of like one of those programs that you go to whenever you don't want to have to get the hours in a real lab or whatever you're doing, right? To actually get professional hours like you do with a graduate degree over in the U.S. Um, so I mean, I'm pretty sure you can apply for this program if you get in. You get your research hours and you get your graduate's degree at the end. Um, let's see here. Yeah, and you have to take university entrance exams and all sorts of stuff, which all of these have some kind of entrance exams that you have to do. So always keep that in mind. The other kind you can do is teacher training students. It's usually you being a teacher. There's my mother. She's walking into the living room talking on the phone. Hey, Mom, can you go outside, please?
Who are you talking to?
I'm trying to do a video here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to turn the TV down some.
It's, Jeez. See, she's mocking me when she walks away, too, and she doesn't realize I'm probably never coming back. Anyways. Anyways, teacher training students. Now, I'm looking at the Wikipedia here. I've done research in Momokagakushou before, so I know most of the stuff on here is true. It's just that it's worded differently, right? Anyways, teacher training students, I do believe this is people who are looking to become a teacher. So if you are someone who's interested in learning Japanese and also teaching English, I believe, or teaching any kind of other subject, uh, this would be one of those courses for you, I believe. Let's see here. It's saying this is one of those things you have to be at least 35 years or younger. Okay, you have you have to be a graduate of a college with teacher training. Yeah, it's kind of weird, I know. You either have to be a graduate of a college, or you already have to have teacher training college, whatever they worded really weirdly. Must have at least 5 years of active experience as a teacher in a primary, secondary, or teaching training college in your country. So essentially, you have to be a teacher before you can even apply for that type of application. Uh, anyways, the next subject, which I'm pretty sure will be a lot of you guys, and unless if you're not going in as a research student, you're not going in to get your graduate, this is most likely the category that you guys are going to be looking into. Other than a Japanese studies student, I do believe that has some exceptions, but most of you aren't really Japanese language study students, or maybe you are, but anyways, the undergraduate university students. Okay, so this is what I had in mind when I found out about the Monbukagakushou, and I was, you know, the requirements on this are actually a bit ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know uh, what the requirement, why they have the requirements like this, but the age requirements. I'm 22 years old right now, and what they say in the Momokagakusho, in order to be eligible, you have to be at least 17 to 22. Now they say 22, but it doesn't make sense unless they change that. Then that means I got screwed over. But usually you have to be 22 or 21, excuse me, by the time you get into Japan. So whenever you apply, okay, once your visa gets approved and you're in Japan, you have to be 21. You cannot be 22. And when they look at that, you're 22 years old, you can't apply. Now it could have changed because this information on Wikipedia seems to be incorrect. In my well, what I'm thinking, anyways, is incorrect. But I'll make sure to go ahead and check up on that for you guys, and I'll put it in the description while the video is uploading. Uh, but I'm pretty sure you have to be 21 by the time you get into Japan. And that's where I got screwed over on the undergraduate university student. You have to be 21 by the time you get into Japan. You can't be 22. Let's see here. You also have to have 12 years of school education. Essentially, you have to graduate high school. If you graduate high school, you can apply for this, but you need to check out the testing requirements or materials they have you studying. You have to take a test which includes, as I said before in my last video, calculus. Calculus 1, 2, and maybe even a little bit of calculus 3, which is basically, if you know how to do triple integrations, you know how to do gradients, I think you'll be fine. I think there's some more things in there. I haven't really looked over the testing material too much. Anyways, you also need to know physics, which all of classical physics, all the way up until modern. You don't need to know any modern physics, but you do need to know some classical physics. Okay, so moving on. That's probably the biggest subject that I probably have you guys in, but otherwise, you're probably in the Japanese studies, which is basically people who are going to learn Japanese, and Japanese is your major. Usually the applicants are from 17, 18 to 30 years old, so you have to be at least 30 years old in order to apply for this. And essentially you have to be enrolled in a undergraduate college, so currently taking Japanese courses, I believe. I think this is actually the only one that you have to have some cooperation with your school and the Japanese government. But your school isn't paying for it, nor are you. Essentially, you're not. I don't think you'll be associated with your school too much after you get to Japan or get the application approved. Let's see here. What are some other things here? You must be enrolled in a home institution, as I said before. Students majoring in the field other than Japanese language or Japanese culture who wish to study various aspects of Japan as part of their major studies should apply for the JASO. So essentially, what I just read there is they're saying that if you have any other major other than Japanese, the Monbukagakushou isn't for you, unless you're going for undergraduate, of course. Otherwise, they're telling you to go to JASO, which is another video, okay? I'm probably going to tie it in with my Google Nihon video as well, because it's such a short topic and I haven't done too much with them. And I'll explain that. I'll explain why later. So the next thing is you have college of technology students. It's the same exact requirements for undergraduate students. And basically college of technology students is kind of like going to vocational school rather than going for like an engineering or like a theoretical physics degree or anything like that, right? And they also have special training colleges, which is kind of like vocational school as well. It's hard to tell because sometimes they split these things up, but they're not really too much different. And there's my mother again. Anyways, and then they also have a Young Leaders Program, YLP. Now, this is actually kind of new. I have not looked into it, so I'll make sure to post a little bit more description and a little more details on the descriptions. But uh, let's see here. What else can I tell you about the Monbukagakushou? I mean, basically, you have these options, and if you're old enough, you can pretty much do it. The major requirements here, um, research student, you have to have your bachelor's degree. Okay, uh, so that means you're seeking your graduate's degree. Undergraduate student, you have to be less than 22 years old. Um, you have to be under 22. That's what they're saying. Okay, I misread that a little bit. They're saying under 22. So if you are 22 or going to turn 22, whenever you go to Japan, you can't apply, which is how I pretty much failed in that process. And also you must be a graduate high school. Um, Japanese study students, you have to be studying Japanese. Specifically, it has to be your major. Okay? And then College of Technology students and special training students, basically vocational school, same requirements as the undergraduate university students, except I don't think you have to have full 12 years of high school. But then again, I'll make sure to post some more details in the description. I'll provide a few links as well. But I guess that's it. I'm running the video a little bit too long here. I might try cutting some of this out. Probably not. A few hilarities here and there. But anyways, I really hope you guys found this video informative. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time for my next video, which is going to be about Jaso and Gogo Nihon. And hopefully that'll be a much shorter video. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.